Welcome people, today I wanted to give you my opinion about Vertcoin. So it is currently trading at let's say 47 cents, which is considered to be very low, and so is the volume. I mean, it's 164,000, down 10% since yesterday. So I think that we can all agree that price-wise Vertcoin hasn't been performing very well lately, although development-wise a lot of things are going on. So that's why I wanted to make a quick update, do some short-term price predictions, long-term price predictions, of course backing everything up with decent technical analysis, and maybe discuss some development stuff afterwards. So we'll get back to that. First, let's take a look at the charts. And before I want to take a look at the chart and do some technical analysis, I wanted to explain the difference between Litecoin and Vertcoin, because when people explain what Vertcoin is, they say, well, it's basically Litecoin, but in my opinion, it shouldn't be compared with Litecoin simply because it is better than Litecoin. Yeah, we basically offer the exact same stuff, but we got cheaper transaction costs, faster transactions. We are actually mineable on a PC, which makes us more decentralized in my opinion, and we got the ASIC resistance, something that Litecoin has never offered. So Litecoin has nothing on Vertcoin. When making short-term price predictions about Vertcoin, it's difficult. Usually altcoins just follow Bitcoin, so when Bitcoin goes up, altcoins go up, and Vertcoin is pretty strange. I mean, basically what it does is it trades sideways for a few weeks, like what happened at the beginning of this year, and then it suddenly pumps 400%, and this is not something that has been happening since this year. This actually happened in 2014 for the first time, and then it happened again in 2016, 2017, 2018. When we take a look at this was 2015, we went up 62x in less than a month. So in less than a month, we went up 6,000%. So that is what Vertcoin is capable of. Then in 2017, it took us a few months to go up 600%. You can see that right there. And this year, yeah, it was trading pretty much sideways for like a few months, and then suddenly we pumped 400%. It's ridiculous, and the reason that we go down all the time is because this has been happening for like 7 years. So once we pump, people know that this is another pump and dump, and they sell for as long as we get back to the old level, and that is why we haven't been making much progress. So that said, and I understand, I mean, let's say you are holding Vertcoin and we suddenly move up 400%. Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is just to sell. And because we have been having these pumps and dumps for 7 years, people are like, well, we will go down, so why not sell and like rebuy once we're at the bottom? And then once we start rising again, the FOMO kicks in and we pump again. So basically that's what's happening for Vertcoin, and that makes it difficult to create like price targets for Vertcoin. But what I wanted to do was use the peaks that we have had this year. I'm going to a shorter time frame, that's easier. Use the peaks that we have had this year and try to create a resistance line. So we've had 3 peaks right there. We can just create a trend line from the bottom right there and connect all these peaks, and it's not crazy accurate, but it gives us a nice idea of what Vertcoin could do in the near future. So we create this line. Maybe this is better to show at the weekly time frame. Look at that, that's better. And that gives us an idea of what Vertcoin is capable. So let's say we pump next week. It could be, who knows. This is the line that could act as a resistance level. So we have bounced against it 3 times, so it makes sense to say that we will bounce against it a 4th time. Like it happened 3 times in the past, why not now? So let's say that we go up there, let's say the wick goes a little further to this level right there. Yeah, it could go like right there. So that is, I'm not going to talk Satoshis here, but that is 0.0001 Bitcoin, which in today's terms would be for, let's say, $5. That is my short-term price prediction. That makes sense. And lots of people will say, that's a huge wig. Like, how's that gonna be possible? It's so much higher than what we've seen this year. That's true, but once we zoom out, and I'm gonna do that right now, you'll see that it actually makes sense. Like, it's not that weird. Look at that. This is what I just created, and yeah, you're probably thinking like that's way too high, but let's take a look at where we have been, you know. Does it look so weird right now? I think it doesn't. Like, it really doesn't. It's actually, yeah, it could be much more than that. But like short term, I think that this is going to happen. I've been trading and buying Vertcoin for a long time now, and I understand the charts. I understand how it works. I understand how the pumps and dumps go, and I'm telling you that this is very, very likely for Vertcoin to happen. So that is short term. Okay, let's take a look at the long term price predictions. And I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not take this as financial advice. The whole crypto space revolves around Bitcoin. This all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up, Vertcoin goes up. But I'm going to sketch 3 potential price targets for Vertcoin that are very likely to happen, in my opinion. So first of all, you need to consider that there is a huge resistance right there at that blue line. I mean, in the last year we've bounced against it 4 times already. So if we pump, and it will happen eventually, we are very likely to just bounce against that blue line again and then go straight back down. I mean, it happened 4 times in the past. Why won't it happen right now? But if you break through that, there is barely any resistance left. So once you break through that, you are very, very likely to go straight to the original all-time high. Imagine if Bitcoin trades at $65,000 when this happens, so its original all-time high. You're talking about 16,000 Satoshis, so that's right there. And I know that sounds delusional. I know you're thinking, oh, we're never going to get there. It's so high. But let's zoom out, and I'm going to ask you, does that really look that strange to you? Does it look strange? I mean, look at where we have been trading. Once you pass that blue line, you got a new all-time high for Vertcoin. Is it really delusional? Is it that strange? Because in my opinion, it is very, very likely to happen. It's not even that crazy. It's actually pretty low considering where we have traded in the past. So I think that is happening soon, rather sooner than later. Absolutely. Okay, so another way to come up with a potential high for Vertcoin is to take a look at the all-time high Satoshi-wise. So we'll have to get back. I'm not sure what happened here. I think this was when Vertcoin got launched. But let's take a look at 2015, because Vertcoin actually traded at 0.0025 Bitcoin at that time, which is equal to 250,000 Satoshis. So that actually happened. And let's say Bitcoin goes back to its original all-time high, which was $65,000. We could do the math, and that is 0.0025, 250,000 Satoshis times 65,000, and that would equal a $162 Vertcoin. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's not. It's simply, I mean, when we talk about the future, no one knows what's going to happen. We cannot predict the future, but no one can see the future, but what we can see is the past. So what I like to do is take a look at the charts, use the information that we have from the past, and we know that we traded at around 250,000 Satoshi. So if that happens again, you're looking at a $162 Vertcoin. So that brings us back to the charts, and that is my last potential high for Vertcoin. It is happening when we overtake Litecoin. I mean, we are basically Litecoin. I do not like to make that comparison because in my opinion Vertcoin is way better than Litecoin. I mean, we have cheaper transactions, faster transactions. We are mineable on your gaming PC, which makes us more decentralized. And it is just, I'm not even mentioning the ASIC resistance here. I mean, that is something that Litecoin doesn't offer. It has never offered that. So we are better than each and every aspect that Litecoin has to offer. If there is something that I'm missing, if there is actual thing that Litecoin offers that Vertcoin doesn't have, please let me know in the comments, because honestly I do not think that it is there. So long term, I do think that we will overtake Litecoin, and that would put us at $150 Vertcoin, which isn't that crazy considering that I just did the math, and that brings us to $160 Vertcoin. So that is definitely possible. That is not being crazy. That could actually happen. So that brings us to the last question. Why is Vertcoin trading 300 times lower than Litecoin? And in my opinion, the answer is pretty simple. It's because Vertcoin isn't available to the bigger public. I mean, Litecoin is listed on the biggest exchanges in the world, like Kraken, Binance, Coinbase. It's available to the bigger public. It's accessible to everyone, where Vertcoin, people just haven't heard of Vertcoin yet. So although it's a very old school project, it really needs to get listed on these bigger exchanges. And I think that with all the crap that's available on Coinbase and Kraken, etc., Vertcoin deserves to be on there. I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. And I mean, the paperwork is there. We got an application at Binance, so they could literally text us tomorrow and say, we're gonna list Vertcoin, you know? So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And once that happens, I think that the people that got in on time, the people that bought cheap, they will be rewarded. I mean, this is one of those sleeping giants. This could go 300x in my opinion. The fundamentals are there. I was gonna say some stuff about Taproot, VertHash. I was gonna talk about the ASIC resistance, the new listings on Changely, Changely Pro, CoinX, Hit BTC. So much is going on for Vertcoin. So yeah, whatever you want to do with this video, like try to look at it objectively. I'm just using facts. I'm looking at the charts. I know that people have been seeing Vertcoin trading at $50, and that's why they think that that's like a justified price, but it's not. It's really not. Just take a look at the charts and try to look at the bigger picture, and you can see that there is massive potential there. So I'll get back to you later. Yeah, maybe I'll do an update video soon.